Hello, my friends. My name is Ramaz, and as I promised in my introductory video, I'm going to tell you some amazing stories from my life, and then very soon I'll have guests right here presenting their own inspirational stories. And today, I want to tell you these incredible stories that happened with me in 2008. I was working very hard, and I was looking for materials and historic documents about a very famous Georgian American aircraft designer, Alexander Kartveli. I've spent several years going through archives around the United States and brought to Georgia an immense collection of archival footage and documents and everything about this person. And I'll be, very soon I'll be telling you more about Alexander Kartveli and my research, and I'll share all those documents and photographs with you. But today I wanted to tell you this story that really inspired me and kind of became one of those very special stories for me and for all my friends. As I told you, I was working with many different museums, and also I was working with Pentagon. My friend, who then was a Major Malhaz Jamureli, he was a defense attaché of Georgia to United States. He got really fascinated after he saw me working on Kartveli and researching his life and legacy, and he was helping me a lot. I mean, a lot. And so one day Malhaz told me, "Hey, listen, come to Washington," because I lived in Orlando, Florida then. "Come to Washington and I will organize your meeting at Pentagon so we can get some more military people involved, and maybe they have some more information about Kartveli and stuff like that." And of course I went, and we went to the Pentagon. And since then, I had several emails from Pentagon related to Kartveli's planes or anything they'll find new about Kartveli. And one of the emails I received, it was about June 2008. They told me that in Detroit, Michigan, there is a great show. I don't know if they still have the show there, but it's called the Thunder Over the Michigan. And every show is dedicated to a certain old aircraft. And that year, in 2008, the show Thunder Over the Michigan was dedicated to P-47 Thunderbolt. And the Pentagon suggested, "Hey, you need to go." And it's Kartveli's plane, one of the most famous planes he designed, and of course, and again, Malhaz Jamureli helped me with some finances because it was some hectic period, and I went to Detroit. But here's the interesting part: the dates for the show was August 7 to August 9, 2008. Anyone who knows recent history of Georgia, those dates are not really happy dates. Because in August 2008, on August 8, 2008, Vladimir Putin and his army invaded Georgia, just like they did several months ago, the Ukraine. And I had a red-eye flight from Orlando to Detroit, so I have no idea what's going on. And Facebook and everything wasn't that big in 2008 here in Georgia, so I flew to Detroit, and I remember getting off the plane, and if you've ever been to Detroit Airport, there are huge monitors on the walls, like big TV monitors. And I'm half asleep. I get out of the plane and I look around, and all I see on those, I don't know how many monitors, is war in Georgia. And I see they're showing my country. And first thought goes, okay, my family is there, my son is there, how are they? And then second, what happened? Because yesterday was not the war. I had no idea what was going on. And yeah, of course, there was a tense situation and everything, but I would never imagine war is going to break out. But now we know that, Putin does what we cannot imagine all the time. And so I went to the show. It was heavy, very heavy. But I went to the show because I went there to do a Georgian thing. I was there to again find out more about Alexander Kartveli, and it was of course the military show, and there is lots of legendary aircraft there, the B-24s, B-25s, A-10, P-47s, of course, like several of them. And when I went there, people didn't know about the war yet. It was a new thing. Several hours ago it started. So I introduced myself. I told them that I'm Georgian and I was looking for materials. I was looking for anyone who knew more about Alexander Kartveli, and they were, of course, very nice to me. And I got a lot of information on August 7th, but August 8th was a very special day, because when I went there, everyone knew about what was going on in Georgia already, and everyone came to me asking, how is your family? Can we do anything for you? It was incredibly nice. It was so touching. It was so warm. And what happened was there was a P-47 Thunderbolt, and next to it were standing 3 veterans of World War II who flew P-47s. One of them was called Frank. Mr. Frank, he was old, and I don't know if he's still alive or not, but no, he was standing there and his neck was a little bit like this. And I asked him, sir, do you know who designed this aircraft? And he said, of course, Mr. Kartveli, Alexander Kartveli. And he says, I remember one thing about Mr. Kartveli. There was in 1962, there was a P-47 pilots reunion in New York City, and everyone was invited, including Mr. Frank. And he says, I went there with my wife, and Mr. Kartveli was standing there shaking everyone's hand. And when I introduced my wife to him, he kissed her hand, and it was something different. He was different. And I said, do you know where he was from? He says, yes, he was from Russia. I said, well, sir, that's where the problem is, because Kartveli was not Russian. As a matter of fact, the Kartveli name means Georgian. If Georgian person asks me today in Georgian what nationality I am, I'm going to say Kartveli, because it means Georgian. So his real name was Kartvelishvili, and he lived in the United States with the name of Kartveli. And I said, sir, no, he wasn't he wasn't Russian, he was Georgian. And I remember he had this neck like that, and he looked at me. Neck all of a sudden kind of straightened up, and he says, what? He wasn't Russian? I said, no, he was Georgian, and I explained to him everything. And he said, son, I love everything about this aircraft. This airplane saved my life several times. It had one negative thing, that it was designed by Russian, and apparently not even that. So he was so happy, he hugged me, and it was so touching, and he spoke with me about the war. And then I had this incredible conversation with the pilot of the A-10 Thunderbolt II, on which Kartveli worked as an honorary designer. And that person, that military person, that was a pilot of the A-10 standing there, he said, I wish I was there. He said, I wish I could help you right now, guys. He was so honest, he was so honorable, and I will never forget this day. And that day kind of reflects very strongly today what's going on here in Ukraine. And I know Ukraine's going to win. I know the Ukrainian people are going to win, because the courage and integrity they show is not going to go away. They're going to win. We are all going to win. And one more time, the tyrant's going to lose, because that's how we are. We need the peace. We need prosperity. Everyone wants this. So God bless Ukraine. God bless Georgia. And Slava Ukraini. Thank you.